So when you're ready, let's go.
Okay. I won't forget it.
I give you a mic.
Yes.
It's on.
Okay. Okay. I don't want noise here. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, cricket lovers all over the world. Good morning once again. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you are watching us from. This is the Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval, the home of cricket, and the venue for the semi-final of the Super 4 competition. My name is Oluwaseun Ajidagba. We're sorry for starting it slightly late. It's owing to force majeure. The two umpires for today's game are umpire Ramona Delakun and Sukomi Odedele. They're walking into the pitch. It's a 10 overs game, a reduced over, and our match referee for today is Usman. Exactly a month and 12 days ago, these two teams faced each other in the first game of the Super 6, with Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1, the former champions of the league, winning by 27 runs. And what a game we have on our hands. The big question is, will it be revenge for Captain Isaac Okpe for Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club, or will it be supremacy confirmed by the captain of Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1, Chima Akachuku, who lost the toss and was told to go and bat? The 10 overs game. What a game we have on our hand this wonderful morning, dovetailing into the afternoon. Later in the afternoon, the other game that will be up for a viewing pleasure is Island Titans Cricket Club, the league champions, versus Federal Government College Warri Old Student Association. A repeat of what we saw some 2 weeks ago that gave Island Titans the league. I will not be doing this alone. I will be joined by my colleague Abayomi Ayonusi, and of course Fumi would also be joining us at the commentary position to add a female spice to this thing. But before we start, our heartfelt condolences to South Africa, and by extension International Cricket Council Africa, the ICC Africa Development Manager, the one who loves cricket with a passion, the one who loves Nigeria with a passion, and they call her Mama Africa, Patricia Kambarami, passed on to the great beyond. And it's our prayer that Almighty God will grant the family the fortitude to bear this irreparable and inconsolable loss. On this note, I welcome my co-commentator, Fumi.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Fumi, what a game we have on our hands. Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1, and that's it on your screen. Mama Africa, forever in our hearts. Fumi, maybe for the next 30 to 1 minute, I'm sure you know Patricia Kambarami. What can you say about Mama Africa?
I met a couple of times, and I can say that her passion towards cricket has been great. Few times that I've had the privilege to speak to her, the compassion and the passion that she has for cricket is mind-blowing, you know, and it's just sad that we lost.
For me, maybe I should just add that most of the things we got from ICC in terms of hosting events, in terms of support, was from this support we got from Patricia Kambarami, always speaking well about our development. I remember the last time I saw her was here in Nigeria when the World Cup Trophy tour was brought. But like we say, it's a shock, but then we must learn to live with it. The game is about to start. The two opening batters for Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1, Daniel Ajeku and David Abibode. And Jimo Abdurrahman is coming from the Court of Appeal end as usual. I'll be sharing the team list of the two teams, but let me quickly run you through that of Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club. One absentee has to be Shehu Odeku. Isaac Okpe captain, Ademola Onikoyi, Babatunde Ayinde, Becky Kehinde, Chibuike Itiogu, Dayo Ogunbayo, Monday Elijah, Jimo Abdurrahman, Kufurora Lukman, Sylvester Okpe, Vincent Adewoye, and of course Michael Abigboa is the 12th man.
Second ball, and that is the beginning, a strike from Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club. 1 run off the mark. In a game like this, you just have to make sure that each ball counts and each ball ticks.
Knowing that you have limited overs to play, it's not a 20 overs game, it's a 10 overs game. You need to score those runs. David Abibode tries to do the helicopter style. These are shots reminiscent of what you see in the Indian Premier League.
I must also commend the bowler. Is doing fantastic at the center, giving the batsers a tough time to strike the ball. And that might be the first boundaries. That's it. Oh, wonderful stop by the fielder. Good fielding, good fielding. What almost appeared to be a 4-run was stopped and minimized to a run. Excellent fielding. This is the spirit you want to see from a team that wants to win the game.
You know, like we always say, 3 runs was taken, but 3 is better than 4 because that 1 extra run can be a big determinant. So for him to have cut off that boundary is absolutely brilliant.
with these strikes and with the way the batters are opening up, you can tell that they are not yet to play.
No, they know, they understand the brief. The captain must have told them the brief. When you are playing a 10 overs game, every ball counts. You have to continue to tick those runs, score those runs, and put up a score that will be easy for you to defend come the second innings.
Oh, a misfielding. And 2 runs was taken off that ball, making the sum total to 8 runs in this over.
Well, you have to say that from what looked like a bad start, after 3 balls, they were just on 1 run. Then the next 3 balls was where they scored that 7 runs. Was quite impressive, and 8 for the loss of no wickets. Great way to start. And there's a bit of tete-a-tete by 3 experienced players. Call them captains in their own right. Isaac Okpe, captain of the team. Sylvester Okpe, captain of the national team of Nigeria. And of course, Ademola Olikoyi, former captain of Nigeria. So it's a clear indication that there is some leadership on that field, and that leadership must be brought to the fore. Chibike Itiogu will be coming from the pavilion end.
Ajay, I must ask, for Ibeju Lekki to be on top, what do you think they need to score as a sum total in this inning to be able to be on top of this game? What do you think should be the projected score at the end of this inning?
So from what we have, it's not sacrosanct that is what we are going to be having in every over. The first over, they had 8 runs. So you say if you're doing 8 per over, you finish on maybe 80 runs. 80 runs in 10 overs, it's a very good runs to defend, but I'm sure the captain has more in his mind than what I'm just saying.
That's true. 80 runs at the end of the first inning, but would that be enough, to defeat GCI? It's only time that will tell. Only time.
Yes, you have to say that for GCI also, they are also a very good batting side. They've got big hitters. People like Isaac Okwe, a lot is expected of him as the captain. Ademola Onikoyi, Vincent Adewoye. We expect more from Babatunde Ayinde, who is another very good player. Sylvester Okwe is still very much there. So they have good players that can, defend whatever runs that Ibeju Lekki puts up. But Ibeju Lekki also has very good bowlers also that can, come to the party.
Again, another dead ball. Something wrong at the center. I think the attention of the groundsman is needed.
From what we gather there, the run-up is a challenge for Chibike Itiogu. Looks like he might slip from where he's bowling from.
From where we are seated, one cannot be sure, so we don't know if the problem is coming from the bowler or from the field.
Generally. Well, if the bowler is having issue, the bowler will not want to, take that risk, and that's why you can see the discussion is ongoing.
Still 8 runs on board for Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club in the first over.
And so let's check out the team list of Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club. 1, Chima Akachuku, the captain. Daniel Ajeku is batting. Miracle Akigbe. David Abibode, the other batter to Daniel Ajeku. James Chuku, Karim Gafar, Ridwan Abdul Karim, Miracle Ikaige, Mustapha Yusuf, Shaya Olympio, Prosper Husseini, and of course, Moise Animashaun is the 12th man. There seems to be some change of strategy for GCI. Looks like Chibike Tiogu will be rested, and then we want to call on the captain of the national team of Nigeria, and I'm talking about Sylvester Okpe, to come in to spin.
Well, if you are meeting a team that has defeated you in the first leg, then you should, or it is well expected to have few changes in your team, to change strategy and to come in unexpected. So for GCI, they can only hope that the change works in their favor. But generally, for a game like this, it is not, you cannot predict the end, because this team, the two of them, they are two strong teams who are hungry to win this game.
Not only hungry to win, but for the two teams, this is like the only opportunity. This is like the only opportunity for them to win any laurel. GCI bungled the league title by losing to FGC in their penultimate game of the Super 6. And of course, Ibeju also would look back and say the game they lost against FCC, the shared point against Rising Stars Cricket Club, was a big factor in them not winning the league title. And so this is the other route for them to win anything.
Okay, so there's a change of bowler. I think Sylvester Okpe is coming in to bowl.
Yeah, because of the popping crease for Chibike is not working.
Shot.
Oh, brilliant stop.
And that is the first boundary of the innings for Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club. 1.
And see that again on replay. Opening his body.
For a ball going down the leg.
Yep. And the captain of the national team, Sylvester, thinking that Chibike should have done it a little bit better, but it is what it is. Great start. Good communication between the duo. Very important that you communicate. But again, for me, you look at the bowling of Sylvester is giving them options for them to try and convert it into a bad ball. That was a missed chance there by David. It could have been
another boundary. But also you can see that Sylvester boy is giving them a tough time, because that's 2 balls that.
Oh, missed chance.
That was a missed opportunity. Only if Sylvester had held on to the ball on time and
see that again on replay. He was going for a direct hit. 2 more balls to bring us to the end of the second over. Oh, one day.
That is a fantastic 4 from David. Well positioned, went behind the ball, full face of the bat. Didn't break his sweat for that. Excellent shot from David.
Just maybe the turnovers is a reason why these batters are scoring this number of runs, knowing that we've got just 10 overs, and before we say Jack Robinson will be done with 10 overs. They're taking advantage of every opportunity, and the captain Isaac Okwe, you can see it's a gathering of captains. Babatunde Ayinde, former captain; Sylvester Okwe, captain of the national team of Nigeria; Onikoye Ademola, former captain of Nigeria, and of course the current captain of GCI. They need to reduce this run rate. The big question is, who will do it?
You can also say that the batters are making use of the power play. They are trying so much to gather as much runs as they can before the end of the power play. Oh, that is another shot. Will it be a boundary? And that was a very good stop from the fielder.
That was a very expensive over from Sylvester, and I'm sure the captain will be thinking about what to do with Sylvester into the 4th over. The first, yes, I'm saying 4th over.
Okay.
Why I'm saying that is definitely it will not be the one to bowl it all over. So maybe the captain can then consider him whether to come back and bowl that over, which will be his 2nd over, but more importantly, the 4th over for the team, or tell him to take a rest.
So far, so good. We have 20 runs on board for the loss of no wickets. David, who has faced 7 balls, has scored 14 runs. Ajekon has faced 5 balls and scored 6 runs. Good partnership so far. 2 overs that has produced 20 runs.
Now, for me, you have to also say that 4 runs was added to what happened in the first over. First over was 8 runs, and we thought that a spinner was going to reduce what was happening, and that 2nd over rose to 20 runs. And there's a change in the runs. It's now 21 after 2 overs. This should give Captain Isaac reason to worry. This is too expensive. They need to cut down the runs, else it will be a bit difficult for them. At this stage, the projected score will be 105 because they are on 10.50, the current run rate. They need to reduce the run rate as quickly as possible. If they are not getting the wicket, they need to drastically reduce that run rate. The first over, they scored 8 runs. The 2nd over, they got 13 runs. That is quite expensive. They don't want these runs to continue to jack up, because when you bowl, you definitely come and bat.
Yeah, right, Aji. Stopping the Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1 before they rise to 100 runs. or even 80 should be the target of GCI right now.
Chibike will now come from the court of appeal end into his first over. Great start from Chibike Tiogu. For me, the entire team will need this kind of ball for the next 6 overs.
But this is just
6 balls.
this is just a ball, because I noticed that their first ball is always a dot ball. Maybe just to check in the bowler, and then they come in to strike, just like I said. And that is the first wicket of the innings.
Chibike Itiogu getting the wicket of David Abibode, the one who seems to be on strike. David is gone. His time has ended in the batting crease. But despite the few balls he faced, he scored some considerable runs. 15, not what David wants to achieve, but the team will manage the 15 that he scored of 18 balls. And in comes the captain of under-19 team for Nigeria, and of course a member of the senior national team, Ridwan Karim. On his day, he can sometimes constitute a positive nuisance in the batting crease when you give him the chance. He's diminutive, but he has those shots that are very destructive.
Woodwan will be facing the third ball from Chibike, who has shown dominance in his last 2 balls. First ball was a dot, second ball was a wicket. That is an excellent bowling. That is a very good bowling, and from a very good bowler any day, anytime. Good bowling from a good bowler any day, anytime. 2 balls, no runs, 1 wicket. Excellent bowling. Rilwan takes his first run.
Well, the appeal from Chibike Togo and the entire team, umpire Ramon Adilakun wasn't interested. But that was a bye, a signal by a leg by, a signal by the umpire. That was close from Sylvester. They're almost going to run out Daniel Ajeku. But he's safe and he'll continue to bat.
Chibike is posing a big threat.
Absolutely.
At the center of the field.
And you can see the signal by the standing umpire, Ramon Adelaku. 2 balls. Karim has faced 2 balls. Is here to play with the bat. It has been 2 leg byes.
One positive thing from the batters is that they've been using their leg. In as much as the runs are not coming in, they have been running with their feet. There's no excuse. There's no excuse at the center. We are not hitting the ball, that's fine, but we are going to take the run one way or the other. We just have to keep rotating. So they've been rotating strike, ball in, ball out, despite the difficult bowling from the bowler, or difficult balls from the bowler.
Well, for me, much better over. 3rd over, 25 runs on board for loss of 1 wicket. only 4 runs was considered in this over. This is a sharp contrast to what we saw in the first over, where they considered 8 runs of Jimo Abdurrahman's bowling. A sharp contrast to what we saw from the bowling of the captain of the national team, Sylvester Okpe, who gave away 13 runs. And now Chibike Tiogu reduced it. And I was saying, yes, logical enough to have the captain of the team rest his younger brother for a while. His over was a bit expensive. Talking about rest, I'll rest for a while as I introduce Abayomi and Yonusi.
Yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's quite a very interesting game that we'll have right here. I must say, because it's a 10 overs game, the power play is officially over. So Isaac at this point have the time of bringing in, taking his 5 fielders outside. He currently has the backward of square, where he has Monday Elijah Onikoya Demola at Kalkona more of mid wickets. His brother Celestial Ope at London. Dayo Ogobayo at deep extra covers. And one person who I can see from my angle here at London. He's bowling his second ball. On the ground. Towards Tunde Ayinde, and they will just take the single. For me, good afternoon.
You're welcome, Yomi. Better bowling, better overs. The last 2 overs, you can say that has been better than the first 2.
Yeah, so there's this thing I've always tried to ask myself. What do we call a 10 overs cricket? Do we call it a T10 or we call it an S10? S10 means Super 10. I'm still trying to crack my brains around.
It should be a T10.
A T10.
It should
So
be
if
a
we keep it at the T10. We know there's 8 overs cricket. So maybe if we keep it at T10,
Yeah.
then the 8 overs will be put at Super 8.
Super 8 then.
That ball off the fourth over. Lovely ball in there by bowler. I think what GCI will be looking at is to probably keep Ibeju Lekki under 80 for a 10 overs game, which gives them a very good number to chase down. Anything above 100 might be a little bit difficult to without the kind of bowling power that Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club has. But Isaac knows the deal. They need to cut off that extra runs that they had. Oh, very well bowled. And finally he strikes. Ridwan Abdul Karim has just lost his wicket. Not a way he would have loved to see Isaac Okpe striking on the first ball, 26 for 2 after 3.4 overs.
And you can also tell that Isaac has learned from the first 2 overs, which is very important and key for any captain of a team. He has watched the first 2 overs and looked at how the game is going. And the right thing that he has done is he has tried to change the dimension of the game. So far, so good is working for Isaac Okpe. 2 good batters down in 2 overs. Excellent fielding, excellent bowling, and a general good teamwork from GCI. So far, so good. We have 3 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in 3.4 overs. Rilwan just came out, and incoming batter is Uzaini Prosper.
For me, trying to chronicle the batting innings of Ridwan, never scored any run with his bats. And to him, by standard, it's a below par performance in the batting, but he can make up when he gets into the field to go and bowl in the second innings.
Also, I feel that the balls that Rilwan has faced has been very tricky and has been a very difficult ball for him. So, yeah, as you are trying to criticize the bat, I think you need to give glory to the bowlers because they are doing fantastic at the center of the field.
No, don't get me wrong, for me. I'm just saying that he never scored any run with his bat. The reason the captain sent him in 1 down was based on what he could offer. But unfortunately, a lot was required and he didn't give that. That is gone. There's nothing he can do about it anymore. He can only come back in the second innings when he's bowling. But in comes Prosper Hussaini, another player that a lot is required from.
Oh, Was a point and miss.
That was a perfect throw from.
No, I disagree.
Okay, I beg your pardon. I actually thought it was from Vincent Adebayo, but that was from Monday Elijah. That was an indecent throw. He should have thrown
There
it
was
straight.
there was what the question is one.
One
The
is one.
problem,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
then you are throwing that kind of ball to your bowler. Not even the wicket keeper has got gloves
Yep, you're
and
definitely right.
has pads.
You are definitely right. I probably got a little bit distracted. So I just saw the throw and I was just like, oh, he had a run out chance there, but I didn't see the throw to the very full end. But let's give credit to Isaac Okpe. He has only considered 3 runs with 1 wicket. Straight to Chibike at third slip.
Question is, what's wrong with Chibike's fingers?
I was just about to say that.
I think he wanted to throw before catching the ball. Or before taking the ball.
He was just trying to hesitate because he felt there was a run-out chance
Chance
there.
then
But
he could have
fielding
picked
is
the
quite
ball.
simple. Pick the ball. Make sure the ball is right in your hands first before you actually quite throw.
No disrespect to Chibike, very good cricketer, but comes the law of drama. Yeah.
Nobody
And
will
it could
ever.
have not been a game you're trying to play. Like, let me see if they would take a run and then let me try and hit the wicket.
No, not for the standovers game. You don't take chances like that. The moment you miss a chance like that, you just give the batters another opportunity to take a single, and that brings us to the end of the fourth over, 29 for 2.
I must commend the other two bowlers that have come in to bowl after the duo of Jimo Abdurrahman and
Sylvester.
Okpe. You can imagine for me, first over they were on 8 runs, second over they were on 21, third over they were on 25, and this fourth over they are on 29. So like Isaac, like Chibike, they only gave away 4 runs and they also had something to show for
And
it.
they had wickets, so most important. Wickets were dropping.
Itiego bowling his second over, technically the last over for this innings for him. Lovely shot there by.
Would that be a catch? And yes,
That is a lovely catch.
just like that.
For me, that is a catch you would love to see over and over again in the replay. At first, we thought that ball was going to the maximum, but Dayo Ogunbayo, who was at,
Dayo hesitated,
but he still took the
but he
catch.
took the catch, and that's the most important thing. Maybe we see that in the replay. He gambled about it, but at some point in time, he just thought about it that if I drop Prosper Hussaini, I might not prosper on the field of play because he would destroy this team with his batting. And see that again on replay.
So he was at extra covers. Look at that ground. I thought the ball was going deep down into the covers, but at the point in time, I would say that was a perfect catch from him. Even though he did hesitate, but he still had the time to take that ground. But again, he's just 5.7 feet off the ground.
But that catch was $1 million catch, knowing that if Prosper had been dropped and he spends the next 2-3 overs, it's going to be destruction. You know what Prosper can do. You know what Prosper is capable of doing. And so what Prosper does that makes him prosper when he's batting, they just said, no, we will not give you this chance. From a left arm bowler to another left hand batter. And in comes the man who is required to steady the ship, former captain of Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1, Mustafa Yusuf, has the task of salvaging a situation here.
And I pay for a nick, but definitely there was nothing there. So just look at Chibike's statistics right now. He has 2 runs, he has considered 2 runs, has 2 wickets, and he has bowled 1.2 over. This is the Chibike that we know back then 5-6 years ago. This is the Chibike who in the 50 overs was bowling 10 over stretch for his side. This was the Chibike who back then 15 years ago helped his side defeat Ibeju on the ground straight towards Olikoyi.
They want to do 2, but that 2 is free.
Oh, excellent running in between the wickets. Good running.
Excellent running in between the wicket, but again, see it on replay. Looks like a slight sloppy fielding from Ademola Olikoyi. as regards that throw. One would have thought that Onikoyi should do better, but hey, if you won't mind, they need all the runs that they can rack up.
Especially when gradually shifting to the Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1 right now. Gradually, Mustafa is doing the work that he has been sent there to do. You can tell that he's gradually rotating the strike, and I think that is what they need. Even if the boundaries are not coming, you need to rotate the strike gradually.
Let me put both of you on the spot. What would be
Okay.
the best batting approach you would actually have for a T10 game?
I would say aggressive. Even if the wickets are dropping, you need to have the runs on board. You need to have boundaries. You cannot be getting caught at the inner ring, or you should be getting caught at the boundary. So I think even if the wickets are dropping, you need runs for a T10. I don't think wickets is should be much of a big deal. I think you need to go for those balls, hit them as hard as you can, get the runs on board, and then come and defend. For me,
And that was a wide ball by Chibike Itiogu. His first wide.
Technically, it should be his last ball.
But again, like we always say, if it's not broken, you don't fix it. What you have been doing to get those wickets and to cut down the runs is what is expected of you to do.
What if he gets a wicket now with this last ball of the over? Because now he's changing the end.
That would be fantastic for the team. That's why they brought Chibike in. Chibike has been injured for a large part of the year from last year up onto this period, and it's just nice to see Chibike come back. An opportunity for a run out.
Good running in between the wickets by the two batters. Just see the way they ran in between the wickets. Vincent Adeoye was a little bit unsure of himself when he picked up that ball, and the batters took to that, and there's a slight change of bowling. I think that will be Tunde Ayinde coming in to bowl, but the umpires will try to have a little bit of a slight break just to make sure that they fix that particular patch. And Isaac is just telling the umpires time, but he needs to understand the safety of the players themselves also matters more.
And after the end of the fifth over, 35 runs for the loss of 3 wickets. At this stage, the projected score will be 70, and they are currently on 7.00. Mustafa Yusuf is on 100% strike rate. 3 balls faced, 3 runs scored. Daniel Ajeku is also on 100% strike rate. 11 balls faced, 11 runs scored.
so far I must commend the effort of Chibike and Isaac Okwe. They have been a big changer to this game, with the way the strike rate has been going from the beginning of the innings. I mean, the first 2 overs. If the strike rate has been going like that, we would have been looking at over 60 right now, if not more than that. But they've managed to contain the runs as much as possible, and that is a very good effort, and that shows leadership from their end. Chibike and Isaac, fantastic bowlers at the center, giving Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1 a tough time and gradually shifting the pressure from their own end to Ibeju Lekki's end. So right now, I feel like Ibeju Lekki would want to push because they just have 5 overs left. So they might want to push as hard as possible to make up for the last 3 overs that has been sloppy from their end.
They need to cut down on some of the expensive runs that they are giving. First over, Ibeju was on 8 runs. Second over, they were on 21 runs. Third over, they were on 25. Fourth over, they were on 29. And the fifth over now, they are on 35 runs.
Sunday Ayinde is the new bowler from the pavilion end.
A lot is required from the former captain of GCI. First ball, and he gets the wicket of his very good friend, and they shake hands. He wanted to go big, Mustafa Yusuf, but unfortunately, he didn't time the ball very well, and he lost his wickets. Great start from Babatunde Ayinde.
That was a very good perfect.
That was a very good perfect ball in there by Tunde Ayinde, keeping that ball right there for the batter in offer, but I just had to open that gate for him. And the moment he just swung the bat, he knew he was going to miss it, tempted him to come forward. And Tunde in the first ball has just struck, as it's now 35 for 4 after 5.1 overs. With the way GCI are going, and I think they might probably put Ibeju under 80.
80, it's a defendable runs based on the talent on display for this Ibeju side. Also, they got bowlers like their captain Chima Akachuku, Prosper Hussaini, Mustafa Yusuf, Sheye Olympio, Daniel Ajeku. So the Miracle Ikaige, they got players who can also do well with the ball. So whatever they are doing to them in the first innings, they know that they might face the same in the second innings.
I don't think the game is going as planned for Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club.
Come back here, come.
Good ball in there by
Babatunde
Tunde.
Ayinde, yes.
It's good ball in there by Tunde Ayinde. I think both of us got excited with that ball and we spoke at the same time. But it's quite good to see that GCI has one way or the other contained the attack that Ibeju are looking at doing. Sheye goes on the leg side towards fine leg. A leg by signal there by umpire Sukomi Odedele. Let's not forget, guys, that the Lagos State Cricket Female League is currently holding at the University of Lagos Cricket Oval, and it's technically the third place and the finals currently going on.
They want to do two.
Will they make it?
What's wrong? Onikoyi should be doing better. He understands the brief. Pick the ball and throw. You need to help the bowler.
Maybe a little bit of a slippery hand there, which is actually quite good. If he had a slippery hand, it's better that he allows the batters go for 2 than probably have a mistro and allow them go for 3 runs.
Or maybe he just realized that the bowler wasn't ready to defend the wicket.
Exactly. Either of those two could possibly be the issue.
Good rotation of the strike, good timing, good placement of the ball.
We are currently in the 6th over. 4 more overs to go, and we bring the first innings to a halt.
Also, I'd like to commend Ajakundane, who has been there from ball 1. He has just tried to stabilize the game and the batters generally. I just make batters play around him so far. That's quite commendable from Ajakundane.
Sheye Olympia requesting for a part. Now, guys, this is what I want us to look at now. It's the end of the 6th over. They have 20 balls left. If you take every run per ball, it keeps them under 20 runs, which means if you add 20 to this 40, it gives them 60 runs. So at this point in time, I think what Ibeju will be looking at doing is to now go all hard at these remaining 4 overs that they have. Because if they decide to go less than 7 runs per over in the last 4 overs, it's going to be a very big problem for them coming in to defend.
They are currently on 6.67, and at this stage, the projected score will be on 67. Well, you talk about Adenu Ajekurun Daniel,
Yeah.
Nigeria's opening batter. A lot is required from him, from the team. He has faced 13 balls and has scored 14 runs. This is far below what we know of what an Ajekun can offer. And for Sheye Olympio, he's hoping to kickstart on an impressive note after facing 3 balls and just scoring 1 run. But again, you have to talk about how GCI has been able to reduce the run rate. We spoke about the first over of Jimo Abdurrahman, where they scored 8 runs. The second over from Sylvester Okpe, the captain of the senior national team of Nigeria, where they scored 13 runs, and it brought them to 21 runs after the second over. And of course, the third over was much better from Chibuike Itiogu. He considered just 4 runs, and he brought it to 25, which included a wicket. And from then on, it's not been anything short of either 4 runs or 6 runs in 1 over. Now it's time for Vincent Adewoye coming from the Court of Appeal into his first over.
Run it.
They want to do 2, and they get it. Great start.
But I mean, if you look at the batting order of Ibeju Lekki, they are just 4 batsmen down. So that's to tell you that they are even at the middle order right now. So we should be seeing a lot of boundaries because we are in the middle of hitters right now. So we should be seeing boundaries, 6, 4s, because that is the number that they are in right now. So I expect nothing less than good strikes from the batters. Good bowling, good defending of the ball from Vincent.
But again, you have to also credit the bowling of Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club. You ask yourself, when was the last time we saw a boundary from Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1?
I think that's the second or third over.
That was just the second over, the over of Sylvester. And then to think that we are going into the 7th over, there's still no boundary, and they are just allowing them take those singles is quite commendable from the bowling of GCI. And this is what they think they need. This is where they want to keep Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1. Don't score boundaries, because the more boundaries you score, the more problems it becomes for us. And so credit must go to how the other bowlers who took over from Sylvester Okpe have been able to galvanize themselves by ensuring that singles and maybe doubles are just what they will be getting off their over.
I also feel the batters are playing a little bit comfortable. I don't think they are trying to stretch.
That was definitely played. He did play it off the bat, because I thought it was actually an LBW, but it was actually played off the bat. So that probably a little bit of a gloved bat ball there, and you can see he's trying to readjust his gloves, his helmet. So obviously he played it. So just like I said before the start of this over, I said GCI will be looking to cut off those boundaries and keep them to 1 run per ball. Now, there was 2 runs in the first ball and a dot ball. Now they have just 2 balls left to be bowled in this over, which gives them 3 runs or 4 balls. Up in the air, Vincent has to take this. There is no one who's going to take it. And he takes it easily, comfortably. Lovely catch there by Vincent Adewoye. He bowled the ball. It was so there in the offer. And Daniel Ajekur could not middle it to the angle where he wanted it. And he has just lost his wicket, as it's now 43 for 5 in 6.5 overs.
Yeah, well, let's see that again on replay. Why you want to, say what Daniel envisaged was not what he eventually did. You want to think that the penultimate ball that hit his hand was a factor in what eventually happened to him losing his wicket. Maybe I need to ask you that for me. Remember, he was checking his hands about that 5th ball of that over.
Yeah.
But was it a factor?
No, I feel like they are playing casual. I said that before, even before it came out, that I feel like they are playing, they are not stretching enough. They are not pushing themselves enough. There's a ball that came short of Shea. I expected nothing less than a boundary, and then just played it casually. I don't think they are playing as hard as they need to, especially in this position that they are in right now. So I think that's one of the major factors.
And that has brought us to the end of the seventh over. And when you consider how things started and to think where we are now, it's a bit unfortunate for the batting side. And check it on display. Daniel Ajekun just lost his wicket, 15 runs, 15 balls off 14 runs, a strike rate of 93.33. David Abibode didn't really have a good day in the sun. 9 balls he faced, scored 15 runs. Ridwan Karim didn't score any run at all. Prosper Hussaini scored 3 runs off 3 balls. Mustafa Yusuf scored 3 runs off 4 balls. And Sheye Olympio and of course Miracle Laigbe, they are the ones batting now. In between them, they have 5 runs and they have faced 7 balls. The bowling of GCI, Jimo Abdurrahman, no wicket. Sylvester Okpe, no wicket. Chibike Tiago has a good economy rate of 2 wickets for 8 runs, 7 dot balls, and he's completed his over. Isaac Okpe, of course, has 1 wicket to his credit. Babatunde Ayinde has 1 wicket to his credit, and of course, Vincent Adewoye. Now we are back into the second over of Babatunde Ayinde, but more importantly, the 8th over. They want to go for 2. And Dio ensures that only 1 is taken.
But better safe than to be sorry. You know, what if they've taken the extra run and 1 wicket is down?
Yeah, it takes 2 to communicate, but and Sheye is gone.
Before you talk about Sheye's dismissal, I was just about to say what happened in the previous ball. Sheye, you and I have always come with the conclusion that the first run must always be fast. The approach at the ball before this was very slow. They didn't take the first one fast. Dio had a fumble there. If they had taken the first one fast, they would have taken the second one, and probably Sheye wouldn't have gotten his dismissal now. But it's so unfortunate. Sheye just got bowled by Tunde Ayinde, and they're 45 for 6.
And that's good over from the man himself, talking about Tunde Ayinde doing well with the ball, replicating what Chibike Itiagu did by getting 2 wickets off his 2 overs.
But in all, I need to commend the captain. That's Isaac Okwe so far. I see Isaac has been making a very, very good decision. Since the second over, he has totally changed the game. Who would have thought that they could contain Ibeju Lekki for 45 for 6 in 7.2 overs? If you have watched the first 2 overs, you know I must commend Isaac. Isaac has been doing a fantastic captaincy duty on the field. Good job, Isaac.
And we expect to say good job, Chima, because he comes in now as a captain of Ibeju Lekki Club 1. The team will be expecting a captain's innings from him.
And that's
Vincent showing his class, picks it up once and just throws it off. That's the class you want to see from a top class batter and a top class all-rounder for Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club.
More importantly, the coach is around, the high performance manager, and this looks like a catch.
And that is the first 6 of the innings from Vincent. You know, the question I just want to ask is, where has Vincent been? Where has Chima rather been since the beginning of this innings? 2 balls, 8 runs on board. Fantastic. Where have they kept Chima? Where?
They strategically kept him. And that looked like it was going to be a catch for the captain, but the more the ball went up, the more it became tougher for Captain Isaac Okpe to get that ball. As the ball was approaching Isaac, the velocity kept going up, and that ball went for a 6. Brilliant.
This is the approach that I expect from the batters. You know, you need to stretch, stop playing comfortable. They have been playing very comfortable since. Give these people a tough time. and that is 2 runs. And as you said, Yomi, they took the first one very fast, which made the second one
Much
very,
easier.
yeah.
Exactly for me. Once you take the first one fast, it gives you at least 10 seconds to take a decision if you're going with the second run. If Sheye and his partner had taken that first one fast, Sheye wouldn't have been in the pavilion now. He would have still probably been batting. This is the top class batting skills you want to see from Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club. But not again. Let's not take it out of Vincent. He knew they were going to go for two. He attacked that ball, picked it up once, and threw it straight, even though he was so unlucky that the batters actually did go for the second run.
And after 8 overs, 56 for loss of 6 wickets, if he continues like this, the projected score will be on 70. They are currently on 7.00. Captain Chima Akachuku is on 300% strike rate, has faced 3 balls and has scored 9 runs. This is what is required from his teammates. And we are into the penultimate over.
So far, looking at the projected score, what do you think would be the total score for this innings with the way they are going? Do you think they'll be able to make an 80 or over that?
Well, there's a difference between a projected score and there's a difference between what the bowler wants to do. The projected score is suggesting that they will finish on 70 after 10 overs, but the bowler can decide to do something else with the ball, and that's what is expected of Vincent Adewoye into his penultimate this penultimate over, and more importantly, the last over for him is going to be the second to the last over, but more importantly, the last over for Vincent Adewoye, and I think this is to the delight of his team.
Yeah, definitely. Knowing truly well that the captain, Isaac Okwe, will be bowling the last over of this inning. So Vincent will try as much as possible to contain probably around 4 or 5 runs in that particular over. In this particular over, and then see what Isaac will do in the 10th over. 4. That was definitely gonna be a 6. So there was nothing. So nothing he could do about it. It was there in the offer. It was on the leg side. All Chima needed to do was just place his bats, guide it towards it. Just look at that again from the replay. It was just full in the offer, and Chima just used his bats, patted it towards the leg side where he had no protection at deep backward square, and that's the second maximum of this game.
From a single batter, Chima.
Yeah, 2 maximum in this game, and coming from just 1 player, but there's still time for him to score more if they continue to give him those bad balls. And he's gone. Finally, he's gone after playing 2 maximum and scoring some considerable number of runs. It's time for Chima to go back to the pavilion and meet his teammates.
Looking at the replay, he took his face off the ball. Just look at his stand. He knew where he was going. Then the moment the ball pitched, his head was completely on the leg side. And as the ball was pitching, there was nothing he could do, because once your head moves away from your shoulders, the hands and the bat will just be going the other way. Very good bowling there by Vincent Adewoye. Delayed the ball, actually. Most people didn't know. He actually delayed the ball.
He played.
Exactly.
He played the shot a second before the ball.
Exactly. Very good bowling there by Vincent Adewoye.
But again, I must commend Chima. I mean, this is what you need to come and do as a batter that is playing a T10. Just come in, give it all, and if you can go out at the 3rd over, go out, but know that you've contributed a lot of runs. I mean, in a short period of time, you must have scored well over 20 runs, and that is okay. That is fine. Imagine every other batter had come in there to do exactly the same thing. They won't be at these runs that they are in right now.
Laid it up and miss opportunity.
Vincent had that chance to make it 2 out of 2, but he dropped it. That was a wrongly timed shot. It was his catch, no doubt. It was straight into his hands, but just that little opening of his fingers where he should have closed it made him drop that catch, and it would have been 2 out of 2. But he's still okay with it because just 2 runs was actually taken in that particular ball. 66 for 7 after 8.5 overs. The last ball of the 9th over.
And in comes Karim Gafar. Karim is an ambidextrous player. He bats with the right but bowls with the left. And that has brought us, and you can see Vincent pondering on how he bungled an opportunity that came his way. Maybe producer can show us again on replay. Hands on the head, looking sad. 66 for 7 after 9 overs. Again, see that again for me on replay. He saw it. He was under the ball, but when it mattered most, he bungled it.
So at this point in time, it's safe to say that the best Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club one can actually muscle up, not be around the 80 region, except if a miracle happens in this Isaac's last over, where Akibe Miracle will be facing. He is going to be taking Isaac to the ropes. That's playing 6s or 4s, but I don't think that might possibly happen.
Exactly, I must, agree with you. This bowler coming in is an experienced bowler, and I don't think he will give us nothing less than that. I mean, you see, his first ball is a dot ball. Isaac could not give any room for any mistake.
5 more good balls to be bowled. And what will be the projected score at the end of the 10 overs? Isaac Ope is no stranger to this kind of situation. In actual fact, he's caught for situations like this. An opportunity, but just 1 run.
In this situation, I was just about to allow you finish. This reminds me of the last game between Island Titans and GCI, where the last over, Isaac was in this situation where he had to roll the ball until they couldn't stop it. At this point, he just felt, let me just allow them take the single rather than just overthrow.
4 more good balls. And that's 4 runs. Isaac is the only one that can explain what he just did with the ball. He was doing well with the ball, and he did otherwise. And one thing we have always talked about, Abayomi, this is where the place of taking chances comes. Karim, who hit that ball for 4, by now should have been with his teammates if Vincent Adewoye had caught that ball in the penultimate over. But they gave him another chance to continue to bat, which is sacrilegious in a game of cricket. And they take 2.
I think Sylvester needs to answer that question. He needs to tell his brother why he actually hesitated in taking that catch. It was a catch any day, any time. I'm really quite surprised that he actually did hesitate to take that catch. If he had taken that catch, that would have put pressure on Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club, but it's just 2 balls left in this over.
7 runs they've gotten from this over. And 1 more ball.
Last ball of the over. What would Karim Gafar do with this ball? Would Isaac take a wicket, or would he go to the boundary? He goes big. Can Dio take it? Lovely catch there by Dio. And what a way to end the innings. For me, if I were a soothsayer, I probably would be cashing out in this particular game.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the first innings of the semi-final fixture between the Ibeju Cricket Club 1 and Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club. with Ibeju. Lekki Cricket Club 1 finishing on 73 runs after 10 overs. That's for the loss of 8 wickets. And for them to win, they need 74 runs. If GCI is to play in the final tomorrow, they need 74 runs in 10 overs. And that is averaging about 7.4 per over. And a quick match summary for me, take us through.
We have Chima, who faced
Chima scored 17 runs.
faced 7 balls. We have David, who faced 9 balls, scored 15 runs. We have Ajakun Daniel, who faced 15 balls and scored 14 runs. And on the bowling side, we have Chibike, who had 2 wickets in 2 overs and conceded 8 runs. We have Isaac Okwe, who had 2 wickets in 2 overs, conceded 11 runs. And then we had Babatunde Ayinde, who had 2 wickets, in 2 overs and conceded 16 runs. Chibike did fantastic. 8 runs, in 2 overs.
They had the best economy rate, and that's brilliant from Chibike Itogu. That's the size of the package for the first innings. Shout out to our 2 umpires, umpire Sukomi Odedele and umpire Ramon Adelaku, and to our tournament referee Usman. Thank you very much. But match referee, I beg your pardon. I'm used to tournament match referee. But I must say kudos to these guys, our ground staff, Mark Ezra, Abubakar Adamu, Khalifa Adamu, and of course Tahiru Bello. Those 4 are our ground staff at the Tafawa Balewa Cricket Over. And big shout out to the guys who have watched us from anywhere they are in the world. We'll be back for the second innings, and what an entertaining second innings we are in for.
All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second innings of this game. It's an entertaining and exciting game. It's the Super 4 League of the Club Cricket Committee, and technically this is the semi-finals, semi-finals ones against big rivals Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1 and Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club. I still have with me Fumi still here, but Fumi, now look at the target, 73 for 8 in 10 overs. Technically, what do you think the approach of GCI batters should be?
I think slow and steady wins the race. One boundary in every over is all you need. 7 runs per over is not much, and at the same time, it can be much if you allow it to be much. 7 runs, that's each ball. Just make sure that you have a strike for each ball and try to rotate. When the boundary comes, push for one boundary, go back again. Just like that, ball in, ball out. Just make sure that you are rotating the strike, and then at the end of the day, you won't put pressure on yourself. It's simple. 74 is actually easy, and it's not easy.
In 10 overs, it might look quite actually. So, on the board, it looks very easy. 74 runs, 10 overs. You say, okay, the first power play, if you take the power play, take the power play good, you would get at least minimum of 30 runs. Once you get 30, you have 44 to play around with in the last 6 overs. But let's not forget, the bowling of Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club is like a, let me say, an RPG that can bring down a whole tower. You have the likes of Chuma Akachuku, you have the likes of Mustafa Yusuf. Exactly. From what we're saying, all indication, it might be Mustafa Yusuf putting on jersey.
They are just showing us now that they are not ready. They are not yet to joke.
Exactly.
They are yet to play. This is not child's play. They are yet to defend whatever we have put on that board. They are yet to defend.
So what Ibeju has in terms of bowling is that they have a very good arsenal of both pace and medium pace with a little bit of spin in between. So the question now will be, how would Chima Akachuku manage that bowling arsenal he has to be able to contain that runs that they have?
We do not need to forget that we have people like Babatunde also inside and Elijah. These are big wickets. These are big batters. People that will go for the ball any day, anytime. So the bowlers need to be very careful if they really want to meet up with their target, because the 2 batters in there too are not here for jokes. We have people that can play century in 10 overs.
I'm still going to wait for that in the league. But Mustafa Yusuf will be kick-starting for the defense of the Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club. Goes down and a catch! What a way to start the game for me! We said it! And you can see Tunde Ayinde is going to take that long walk back to the pavilion, straight to James Chukwu's hands at covers. That is a practice catch any day, anytime. Just look at that catch, cool as you like.
What easy, straight. Come on. This is not what we want to see today. This is not the cricket that we are here for. We are here for the game. You can't just give us that shot and go back to the pavilion like that.
On the flip side of it, for me, it's a very good plus to Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club, because now they have the big man in terms of Onikoyi Ademola, who still needs to face the new ball, because Tunde has not been able to kill one part of the ball, but now you have Onikoyi, who would now play as an opener rather than the aggressive batter we know him to be.
A big up to Mustafa. That was a very good opening of the ball. That was a very good opening of the second innings. When the ball line and length.
Just look at that again on the replay. It was just full. Tunde just needed to play that on the ground. Rather, he played it to full top, and James Chukwu took that so comfortably.
You could have just, you could have done any other thing apart from that shot. Today, come on.
It is what it is, and now the big man Onikoyi Ademola is in the crease. These two are familiar with each other. They've played against each other several times, so they know what is at stake. And you can see Onikoyi, he knows now he has to guide his team to that 74 victory, knowing truly well that they are 1 wicket down.
They used to say that it's from Thursday, a very good Friday. So I think from this first ball, you should know that we are in for an interesting inning.
And what GCI will be looking to do is to try and still take off that supremacy Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1 has over them, because they technically lost the league to themselves when they had to lose that game against Federal Government College Warri. So at this point they have another chance to take that Super 4 trophy.
No pressure. Come on. It is just a wicket down. Even if it's a big wicket, but it's just a wicket. We have 9 wickets that make up for that 1 wicket. So I don't think there should be any pressure on the right now.
Yeah, there shouldn't be much pressure because they still have big hitters on the dugout, where you have the Okpe brothers, Sylvester and Isaac Okpe. You have Jima Abdurrahman still in. You have Vincent Adewoye also still out there. Lovely shot there by Onikoyi, straight to Chima Akachoko, and they'll go for a single. That's the run they need. That's the way they want to start this game, and that is the first run of the second innings.
Good bowling to Mustafa. Yeah, he came back into the tournament and showed us that, oh, I am the bowler that you guys still know as.
Lovely shot there by Elijah, but they'll take a single. Oh no! What was that? Mustafa was just quite lucky that he took himself away from that. There was just one run. The fielder didn't need to throw the ball. It doesn't. I don't think he even needs to throw the ball. The batters have actually gone for a single. Just hold on to the ball. Now look at it now. He has just officially injured his bowler, which is not a very good sign for his side. A guy who is bowling well, and the fielder just decides to throw that ball. All he needed to do was either hold the ball or just on the arm. And just look at Mustafa Yusuf. It's a little bit of a struggle with him, but we know Mustafa to be a fighter. He's going to fight this through. He knows what is at stake, and then you can see just taking a sip of water, and he's going to be bowling the last ball of the first over, which has been a little bit dramatic.
Yes, and very interesting. Very interesting first over. This is the kind of cricket that we subscribe to, especially from the bowling side. I don't think the players from the GCI are happy right now. I don't think this is what their plan is. This is just 2 runs in the first over.
With 1 wicket.
With 1 wicket down.
And just a single will be taken. And what?
This is the time for them to build as much runs as they can, because they are still in their power play. So we are expecting nothing less than 7 runs, 8 runs in this over. So this is the time to actually build that. But we think the inning just started, so we still have 9 more overs to go. So magic can happen. We can actually start slow and then gradually progress into the game, and then you can start fast, just as we watched the Ibeju Lekki guys did. They started very fast, and then into the game they withdraw and they were very slow. So it's dicey, it's cricket and biscuits, anything can happen along the way. So I'm here for the drama, I'm here for the suspense, I'm here for everything that is interesting.
The last time these two faced each other, that is Hussein Prosper and Onikoyi Ademola. The last time I saw them bowl to each other, or the first time I saw them bowl to each other, was at the state champs in Edo. That was in 2002, where this man, Hussein Prosper, went all out against Onikoyi Ademola. But this is now a different ball game entirely. These two have evolved over time, and they've both played for each other. I beg your pardon, 2012, I beg your pardon. So this is going to be a tough one. Onikoyi, you're trying to check what the middle would do, because he knows that Hussein Prosper is a deadly bowler, a left-hand man, and he's going to be looking for those yokers.
The way Prosper bats is the way he goes. He doesn't take chances. He goes all out. He's a player that I know that always go all out. He doesn't care what wants to happen the next ball. But this particular ball and this time, I'm going to give it everything that I can give it. First ball from Hussein. That be a boundary. An easy boundary. Just one action, just one movement. Not too much drama.
That's the boundary GCI will be happy about. Just look at that shot, perfectly timed by Onikoyi Ademola. Pulled that over mid-wicket where Sheye was standing. And all Daniel Ajakut could do was just chase that to the ropes for a boundary. That's the first boundary they actually
Yeah, but
need.
this is just what you need. Easy, just take one boundary, take single, take one boundary, take single, and watch your runs increase. Nothing extra, nothing much. Easy like that. So let's see how it goes as the innings progress. This is just one ball from Husseini, 4 runs already on board with a lot of no wicket. So let's see how the game goes.
Onikoyi needs to understand if he wants to go aggressive, he needs to stick to that mentality of being still aggressive. He was trying to see if he could push that between Hussein Prosper with the third ball of the over. Goes big. Will that go for 2 runs? No, just a single taking off that ball. Just like you said, for me, at this point in time, no need to look for the boundaries. You already had the boundary in the first ball. All you need to do is just take the singles. Just take 1 run per ball, and before you know it, you'll be cruising into victory.
3 runs scored already from Husseini Prosper. 5 runs conceded with a loss of no wickets. Wow. Wow.
At this point in time, GCI would know that every dot ball is like a gold medal for for Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club. So they need to utilize those dot balls perfectly. The whole idea will be converting those good balls to bad balls. That's what GCI batters need to put into cognizance. Good call. No, I think that was a very good slow throw. He knew if he had thrown it fast, there was no protection for the wicketkeeper at the back. So all he needed to do was just throw it a little bit slow. And he was lucky to have Sheye Olympio back up for him.
Last ball from Husseini Prosper coming in from the Copter Van end.
4 dot balls already in this over, but they will be happy with it. Just 5 runs considered, 66 runs required. With current run rate at 4.00, 66 runs required in 48 balls. At this point in time, for me, they need to go almost like 2 boundaries per over if they need to cover up for that 66 runs. So either you go back-to-back boundaries, either the 4s or the 6s, or you just keep rotating the strikes. Once those dot balls, like I said, will be golden at this point. Now, who's going to be bowling the 3rd over? Technically, the last over of the power play. And that's Karim Ghaffar, the new bowler, who'll be bowling from the pavilion end.
I think it's wise that they might need ball.
Not that they might need, for me, they need him for either the 8th over, 9th over, or the 10th over. Those are the penultimate overs in this game. Because the way this game might be going, we might be seeing a 10 overs in the second innings.
So far so good. Ademola Onikoyi has faced 7 balls, scored 7 runs. Elijah has faced 4 balls and scored 1 run. I think Elijah is more, at this point. This is the 3rd over. I mean, there's nothing more to lose. You've been in there for 3 over 2 overs. Push out. It's time for him to strike.
I think the instruction should have been during that little break they had. They should have what GCI should have done was have passed the instruction in. Elijah gave Onikoyi more of the strike. Just get off strike. Let Onikoyi face more balls and just hold your wicket for us. If they play around Elijah, they know they have 1 wicket at hand. He's also a good big hitter, but he just needs to build his innings. And he just finished that conversation. I said he's a big hitter, and he just proved me right by hitting that ball straight to the boundary for 4.
I think he had me when I said I need to be more. Like, oh, I'm going to show you that I can do something. Yeah, I can do something.
That was a loose ball there, bowled by Karim. Just look at it, totally too much width, giving Elijah that room to square cut that straight to the boundary for 4.
13 runs for the loss of 1 wicket in 2.2 overs. They need 61 runs off 46 balls.
Still behind the required run rate. The required run rate is 7, but they are 5 runs per over. That should definitely be a wide ball. Good bowling there. Good officiating there by the umpire, Sukomi Odedele. From the pitch of the ball, you already know it was definitely going to be a wide ball. GCI will be happy with that because in just 2 balls, they have 6 runs. Gradually, the runs keep reducing. So much width. Would that race to the boundary? Yes, it does race to the boundary for 4. Lovely 4 there by Elijah. Elijah proving to Onikoyi that he can actually play that same shot. Just look at that timing. And there you have it on your screen. The FGC Warri players actually are the ones currently in the net because they have another game to play in the afternoon, which is going to be an interesting one because FGC Warri lost that league to Island Titans, and they have Island Titans to contend with in the second game of today's semi-final Super 4.
But just as he said he needed like at least 2 boundaries in and over, and they have 2 boundaries now. So I think it's just time for push a little bit. The boundary come again, fine. But if it doesn't, push a little bit and then keep rotating the strike. Just like that, we have 56 runs needed in 45 balls. We are gradually closing up the gap little by little.
Another wide. This is not what Ibeju will be looking at. Now, this is his first over. When Sylvester Okwe bowled the second over of the first inning, he conceded 18 runs. Now, Karim Gafar is bowling the third over of this innings, and he has conceded 11 runs in just 3 balls. Would this be the over that would make the game evenly balanced, or would it be the over that GCI would take as it comes? That should be a dot ball. Yes, it is a dot ball. 2 ball signal there by the umpire, Sukomi Odedele. At this point in time, GCI wouldn't mind the dot balls because they've already had 11 runs. They have 11 runs. But not again. They still need to understand that the dot balls doesn't need to pile up that much. And good running in between the wicket by the 2 batters, Onikoyi and Monday Elijah. Last ball of the power play.
Now Nicola has to come and face the fourth over first ball of the fourth over. Good calculation for Nicola. It just shows that he's a very experienced and very knowledgeable player.
And after that, after the end of the power play, it's 21 for 1. 53 runs required in 42 balls. Current run rate now is 7.00. And the required is 7.52. That over was actually a very expensive over. I think that is the over that determines how this game would go. So if GCI can have one more of that particular over from any bowler, they would actually get close. Exactly. Who will be the bowler bowling from the Court of Appeal end? They're trying to go for spin, and they're bringing in Daniel Agekum is the one bowling from the Court of Appeal end. Spin into the attack from the cut of Apilen through Daniel Adgekum. Onikoyi goes big towards the onside, but Karim Gafar cuts that off for just a single. Now this is where I would be more concerned about the field sets for Daniel Adgekum. He has backward deep square leg, mid wicket, long on, long off, and extra covers. And the white ball signal there by the umpire Ramon Adelaku.
I think that they are just expecting the batters to play in the air because that's the only reason why you should have 5 fielders at the boundary.
Another wide ball again, 2 back-to-back wides. This is not what Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club are hoping for. The extras are piling up. 3 runs already in just 1 ball. Look at it for me, 50 runs required in 41 balls. Goes big on the onside. Can they come back for 2? No is the call.
I think he just deliberately wants to face. I think he has realized that Elijah is having a tougher time facing
Spin bowlers. And knowing Onikoyi truly well, he's a master of spin. And that's it. Just a single taken.
But with this kind of fielding, you can agree with me, Yomi, that the only way to play this kind of field is either you're playing over the fielders or you're playing in between. Because you do not want to get caught at the boundary. And I think that's what P4 is doing. He's just trying to pitch his ball a little bit short away from the boundary.
It's either you're going big,
yeah,
or you're just rotating the strike. There's nothing so difficult about it. If you want to go big, you go big. If you want to rotate the strike, you rotate the strike. And that's what these 2 batters are actually quite doing.
4 balls down, 6 runs considered. 2 wide.
Current run rate is 7.36, required is 7.42, 47 runs required in 38 balls.
That's gradually closing.
On the ground, straight. Can they come for 2? But Onikoyi is just saying, no, let's just take a single.
But the positive thing about their batting is that they are rotating the strike. No dot ball so far in this over. I mean, 5 balls, 5 runs, and every ball has been a single.
They just say one. One was the call and 1 was taken. And after the end of the 4th over, it's 29 for 1. 8 runs considered in that over. Ademola Onikoyi is 12 off 12. Elijah Monday, who was 1 of 4, is now 13 off 11 balls. 45 runs required in 36 balls.
Current run rate is 7.25 and required run rate is 7.50. They are very close. They're very close.
As long as they're still within that 7 region, they just need 1 particular over to just take this game to their side, and that is for GCA. And coming in from the pavilion end is Chima Akacheko, the captain of his side. He would be trying as much as possible to gather dot balls just to push the pressure back to the Government College Ibadan Old Boys guys. Chima Akacheko is having his field set and rechecking his field set. He has deep extra covers, long on, long off. Backward of deep square leg and mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket. Those are his protection on the ropes. And finally he strikes with the first ball. And Elijah has just lost his wicket. He has done his job, scoring 11 of 13 balls. Let's see that again in the replay. You could see he was perfectly bowled by Chuma Akachuku. Well, in a way, for me, I'm not quite surprised that actually happened. Chuma and Elijah did both play in Ibadan. They started their cricket at Liberty's cricket ground in Ibadan. So it's more like familiar foes bowling against each other.
Also, I feel like that wicket was unnecessary. You could tell by the action of the batter, he literally removed, you opened up your wickets. You shouldn't be going back for a ball for a man like him. You should always be on your front foot and not at your back. But good play generally from Elijah. He has given us some fantastic strikes here and there. And then incoming the captain of the senior national team, Sylvester. Oh, wait. One of them.
Yeah, definitely. And this is going to be an interesting one because both of them, both that Sylvester and Onikoyi Ademola know truly well that they need to go big because both of them are big hitters. So they need as much as possible to ensure that they get those runs on the board if they have any chance of winning this game. 45 needed in 35 balls, just 10 margin between both. Anyways, just 10 runs. Just 10 runs in probably in 2 balls or 3 balls would change the face of this game.
And if you ask me, I would say that the DCI are quite on top of the game. They are quite on top of the game because they still have wickets on ground and then there's still overs. 10 runs margin is really not enough if you look at it. 2 boundaries and 2 runs is 10 runs. And that can happen in 3 balls or 2 balls. Because you have 2 six. You know. Second ball from Chima is a dot ball.
Left there by, good ball in there, I beg your pardon, by Chima Akachuku. Left there by Sylvester Okpe. The second game is going to be a revenge FGC Warri against Island Titans. Nicked towards fine leg.
That'll be a boundary.
And it is a boundary.
But I can say that that's quite a poor fielding performance.
But Hussein Prosper was just about to say the same thing for me. All he needed to do was just stop that ball. You don't expect that from a big player like Hussein Prosper.
Extra effort. Could have even sliced. Could have. So many things that you could have.
Or the best case scenario, just use your leg and just don't bump it on the ground and then come back and pick it. It's better to save a run than to concede a boundary. But that 4 GCI will be happy about as it takes their tally now to 33 off 2 balls, off 2 wickets. A single taken. I must say this, for me, the GCI players have done extremely well in the sense that what they've done is quite simple. They go for a boundary, they take a single. If the boundary isn't coming, they make sure that the balls they chase goes for 2s. That's what you want to see from a side who understands the brief.
I mean, look at Ajekun over, you can see that they rotated the strike. They were rotating. The boundaries were not coming. That's fine, but they were rotating the strike. One ball per one ball per one run. By the end of the day, they had 8 runs. It's 2 wide from Ajekun. So there's no pressure actually in a game like this. There's no pressure, except you want to give yourself pressure. Went for it and missed.
End of the over.
34 for 2 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Just required in 30 balls. You know, I keep saying it, that 10 runs margin is still there. GCI needs to find a way to cover up that 10-run margin. If they don't cover it up now, it might actually have an effect to them in the last over. But they just need to find that bowler they need to take on. If they have to take 20 runs off a particular bowler, they will definitely have the game in their hands. But they just need to take a bowler on. And which bowler will they be taking on? I think Chima is going to bring in Sheye Olympio from the Court of Appeal end. Will this decision pay off? Because I would have expected him to actually bring in either a Ridwan Abdul Karim to come bowl rather than Sheye. because this is the shorter end of the boundary of the pitch. I beg your pardon. The boundaries are much closer here, and you can have both Sylvester and Onikoyi Ademola on strike against their fitness coach.
Only time will tell, you know your name. We never can tell. Sheye can go there and give us magic. The captain knows why he chose Sheye. You know, he must have seen something during the practice. He must have, shown a level of, quality for the skipper to be able to, put such trust in him. So, and don't forget that Sheye was once, or maybe is still, excellent
Bowler, but the days I know Sheye to be actively playing, he was more of a medium pace bowler, not a spinner. He just all of a sudden over time just changed into spin, and would his spin be effective against the team he has played against?
Especially when you are facing two batters that are spinners.
That's a start they want to have. Bowled into the block hole. Sylvester Okwe trying to give himself room to hit that. But Sylvester needs to understand, if he's going to hit that ball towards the onside, he needs to play with so much power and venom. Nicked towards Gully for just a single.
Sheye's doing well, 2 balls, 1 run. Nothing extra, nothing, no drama. And these kind of bowlers can be very dangerous.
Full! Can that be taken? And Onikoyi Ademola is gone! Off Sheye Olympio. That was a lovely catch. I said it, if you're going to go big, you need to go big full. Onikoyi didn't time that into the middle of the bat, and he has just lost his wicket. Let's see that again from the replay. What a lovely catch there, straight into the man and mid-wicket. That was not a catch that GCI were hoping for.
Just when Onikoyi was settling into his innings, But this is a very good time to actually take him out, because if you had given Onikoyi 1 more over in this innings, it would have been a disaster, because he would have properly settled in and start playing. Because from the strike you can see that he's ready to go all out,
Let's look at that again from the replay. It was full, low. Onikoyi knelt down to play that. But that was just not in the middle of the bat. It was just slightly at the top of the middle of the bat. If that had gone deep into the middle of the bat, I'm sure that fielder wouldn't be taking that catch. But with that wicket, brings in Vincent Adewoye, putting on jersey number 25.
No, but I think Onikoyi did the best. I just felt like luck was absent with that shot that he made, because it was a very good shot. It was a very good shot. He could have done nothing. Maybe he would have played another type of shot, but then that shot was a very good shot. And good thumbs up to the fielder who caught the ball. Hopefully it might be a turning point for either GCI or Ibeju Lekki.
At this point, yes, exactly. I was just about to say that at this point, he could just go, it could swing anyway. This is the over that matters most. Sheye's over matters a lot to plays it to the ground. Will they go for 2? They're trying to look for a second. But that was a lovely good there by Miracle Akibe.
I said it even before the wicket that a bowler like Sheye can be very dangerous, because they are not doing too much, and then there's little expectation from them. So they are just in their time and in their season.
Sylvester goes deep to the leg side. Can they come for 2? No, a single will be taken. Just look at the backup for Sheye, that throw. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fielders lining up to protect that ball, not forcing the batters to go for another run.
Also better fielding from Hussein Prosper. There was more energy, more aggression from him, unlike the last. I think he learned from the last week.
Can David... Perfectly timed. I think that was the same approach Oniko you wanted to do. Just like you said, luck wasn't just on his side, but this time Vincent Adewoye actually timed that into the middle of the bat. Just look at that, same shot.
Same ball, same everything.
I think the only difference is just the power behind the ball.
I don't think luck was on Nico's side, or maybe even the pace from the bowler also would determine. Maybe Shea was a little bit slower when he bowled the ball to Nico, and just a little bit faster, because that also can be a huge determinant in how fast or how far a ball can travel.
Yeah, definitely, you're right. It's 43 for 3 in the sixth over. 31 runs required in 24 balls.
Wow.
This is the last 4 overs of the game.
We are gradually closing in 7 runs apart.
Mustafa Yusuf into the attack now from the pavilion end. He's now trying to see, Chuma Kachiku is trying to see if he can just gather up dot balls or probably wickets.
I feel like if you see someone like Ridwan at the carrying inside, it still delay the over of Mustafa, especially someone that did very well in the first inning.
First over, you meant?
It does delay him a little bit and bring in.
Probably in the 8th over or the 9th over. Single taking off his first ball.
Good fielding from Chuma.
But I think the break for Mustafa will be very simple. If he can just give us 4 runs in this over, we will be happy with it, which means he just pushes pressure back to GCI. Did I just hear you say ha? Goes big, goes high. Can that be taken?
And would you count that as
I am wondering how he dropped that catch. Let's see if we could see that again from the replay. Just look at that. He was up. He came in too early. Yes, he miscalculated it. But that was a good recovery there by Daniel Ajeku.
count that as a bound because his leg, Ajaku's leg was in the rope as at the time that he kicked the ball.
Maybe we would actually have to see that again on the replay probably by the time this over ends. But the umpire declared that that ball was 2.
Because I felt like the leg was in the rope and the leg was outside of the rope.
Yeah, hopefully the director gives us a slower motion to that. Oh, it's West Sylvester going to. Let's see if we could quickly see that again. Dropped. No, it wasn't for me. His leg was up as at the time that happened. That was a very good piece of fielding there by Daniel Ajeku. He was quite lucky that his leg wasn't actually stumped on the rope. Oh, lovely shot there by Vincent Adewoye. Good fielding there by Daniel Ajeku, cutting that off from going to the boundary. This is the top class game we're watching at this point. Daniel Ajeku ran all the way from London to back up David, who was a mid-wicket. He has done it twice already in this game.
Yes. I don't think Vincent will be happy about it. Okay, this is just official boundary that
I think what's currently happening, the umpire and I think the discussion is based on the collision between the two batters and Mustafa Yusuf, telling him to get out of the runway. But I think in cricket, once you bowl, the rules is quite simple. Once you bowl, you get out of the runway so you don't collide with the batter. So if the batters are complaining to the umpires, I think it's still within their rights. On the ground, he'll just settle in for a single with that.
so far
6 runs considered in this over, which should have been more than 6.
Yes.
Will they come back for 2? They're trying to look for the second one, but no, it's the call. This over has been interesting and tight. And after the end of the 7th over, it's 50 runs for 3. Required run rate is now 8 runs, 24 needed in 18 balls. This is cricket at the toppest of all levels. This is why the Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club and Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club one's game has lived up to expectation, and the rivalry still goes back. I think that's Mustafa down again. He probably might be pulled out, but
Just tells me on his fitness level. I don't feel like all this just tells on his fitness level.
but not
He has been down twice in 2 overs.
but not to take it out of him. Mustafa is a big fighter. He's a big, huge fighter. Let's see if we could see that again on the replay, the one that happened with Daniel Agekum. Okay, there we have it. Played up in the air. Yeah. David had it. Just look at Daniel Agekum. He dropped the ball. He ran. You could see that his leg was actually not on the ropes. That was a good piece of fielding there by Daniel Agekum. 50 runs, 3 wickets, 7 overs, 24 runs needed in 18 balls. Who will be bowling the 8th over from the Court of Appeal end?
Honestly, I just feel like I feel like there's still no pressure on GCI. I mean, 3 more overs and you need 24 runs, right? I don't think there's pressure. I just think 2 boundaries will change the dynamics of this game. 2 solid boundaries. Either 2 fours or 2 6 will change the dynamics of this game. But so far so good, has been an interesting innings, has been an interesting game. We've seen the players from the Lekki and CI fight for the dominance of this game.
Daniel Agekum is the bowler from the Court of Appeal end. What would he be doing? Would he be looking to reduce the run rate, or would the 2 batters be looking to actually go big? He bowls this one faster. Sylvester Okwe was trying to see if he could nick it, but missed it. Another dot ball. I think Sylvester is quite surprised. He probably thinks the ball is a white ball. Still asking the umpire, was that a white ball? Umpire Ramon Adeglakun still stands his feet down and saying it's not a white. Still needs to get on with the game. Goes on the offside, trying to see if they can go for 2. Hussein Prosper with the ball. And just a single. You know how tough it is right now. It's getting tougher by the balls. It's getting tougher by the minutes. 51 runs already. The run rate required has gone to 9.20. 23 required in 15 balls. For me, 1 over can still change this game. I still say it. 1 over is all GCI needs to take this game into their favor. No ball called. Oh my world. This is a free biz. No ball being called by the umpire, Ramon Adelaku. I think the decision would be his front foot. He just see the umpire signaling that it's the front foot. And I think this is the first time I'm seeing a spinner actually bowling a no ball off the front foot. All the no balls I've seen off spinners have been actually field placements. But a spin bowler bowling a no ball off the front foot seems like there's so much pressure in that over. Ooh, missed chance, but they would go for a single. Vincent felt disappointed with himself. He wanted to go big, but only timed it towards to the offside for just a single.
You know, this second over for him is quite better than his first over.
That's it. That's the gap Sylvester needs. Now they will take 2 comfortable runs. What they need to now to do is, if the boundaries are not coming for me, you need to take 2 runs off every ball. And that is a way you can get more runs. If you take 2 runs every ball, it gives you, in an over, if you take 2, it gives you 12 runs.
19 runs needed in 13 balls. This is quite interesting.
Over mid-wicket head, but they would probably go for 1. No is the call. This is tough. Look at the shot. The pavilion are even shouting for the fielders. The batters wanted to go for 2, but no was the call. And the fielder was able to stop the batters from going for 2. And ladies and gentlemen, after the end of the 8th over, it is 56 for 3. And the current run rate is 7 runs. Required run rate is 9 runs. And what is required for me in 12 balls is 18 runs.
I keep saying it, 2 boundaries will change the dynamics of this game.
So let's do the statistics and the mathematics here. You have 12 balls. Yes. So if you take 1 run per ball, that gives you 12 runs. You still have 6 runs lying down fallow. In a way, you need to take either 1 or 2 balls. You need to either hit it off the boundary or you take 2 runs per ball. This mathematics, just like you said since morning, GCI are currently not under pressure, but they can only put themselves under pressure in this particular over. As Chuma Akachu.
Pressure is on GCI, it is on them, because you still have wickets on ground. You still have, okay, maybe you don't really have overs left, but when they still add over at hand, you know, you could have changed the dynamics of the game. You know, less playing of casual. You know, they were playing a little bit casual here and then you know, reduce the number of dot balls.
Will this be the over GCI are hoping for? Will this be the over that Ibeju will take the victory at the end of the day? Because what is required is a huge one. 18 off 12. Can Sylvester Okwe, the national bail team captain, take this game to GCI? He did it once for us. Goes down, but straight to the fitness coach Sheye Olympio at mid-wickets for just a single. Now it is 57 runs on the board. What is required is 17 off 11.
The tension is high.
It's
in the pavilion and on the field.
And I'm sure a lot of people at home are also feeling the tension, because this reverie goes way back and you can see how tough it is.
Even from the training net, you can tell that there's tension. You know, the incoming teams that are coming to play too are tensed.
Oh no, with that race to the boundary, can the fielder cut it off? Yes, he does, but 2 runs is still taken. And they're trying to see go for the 3rd, but 2 runs taken. Now 3 runs off 2 balls.
15 runs
In 10 balls. Still that 5 runs margin is still lying fallow. It's either a boundary comes off this ball now, or they have to take 2 runs in this ball. Oh, but it was very well fielded there by Chuma Akachuku. And just a single taken. Sylvester Okwe stretching his back. I think he probably wants to go big. Now, This is it. 14 runs in 9 balls. Now we're back to that 6-run margin. Oh, this is not it. You could see Sylvester is disturbed with himself. Ibeju will be happy with that dot ball, but he still has 2 balls to change the face of the game. Sylvester Okpe, he did it against Namibia. Can he do it against Ibeju? He just needs to a boundary that can take the game back to his side. Goes down. Can they take 2? Just 1 taken. And now, ladies and gentlemen, after that single, it now takes the required to 11. Fumi, 13 needed of 7 balls. Are we going to be seeing the last over of this game where GCI and Ibeju would have a tough one? Sylvester Okpe is requesting for a bat. I think he has the right to change the bat if he has a crack with the bat. But I think he said he's just probably going to face the last ball and have a change. Vincent Adewoye, can he hit that much needed boundary for Ibeju, for GCI, I beg your pardon? Goes deep, goes straight to David, and they go for a single. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the over everyone is waiting for. After 9 overs, it's 62 for 3. 12 runs required in 6 balls. 12 runs in 6 balls. For me, it's simple mathematics. You don't need to dot any ball at this point in time. It's either you go for the boundaries or you take 2 runs per ball.
And like you said from the beginning of this game, you said this game begins to ball to the 10th over. And you are correct. That's a very good prediction of the game.
Like I said, if I was good with soothsaying, I should be earning a lot of cash in this game. And who will be bowling the last over? Last over for me. He has done it for the national team. He has done it for Edo State cricket team. He has done it back then for the under-17s of the Edo State Cricket League. He has done it for the under-19 of the Nigerian national team. Can he do it for Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club? He has 12 runs to bowl to in 6 balls. And who is he bowling to? If not 2 national team players. Vincent Adewoye will be facing the first ball of the last over, and Sylvester Okpe is at the non-strikers end of the last over.
The assignment should be very simple for the GCI. 2 runs per ball, or
get a boundary.
If you can get a 6, you can get a 6. If you can get a 4, you can get a 4. But no dot ball.
Exactly, for me, that's the brief. No dot ball is required. You just need to get the boundaries. And now I'm looking at the field set. Third man is in. I beg your pardon, fine leg is in the 30-yard circle. So if the ball goes towards the leg side, there is no protection on the leg side, which means he might just be lucky to get a boundary on the leg side. Can that happen? Prosper Hussaini, the first ball of the 10th over. It's a dot ball. No, there is nothing else Vincent can do. He needs to hit a boundary. He needs to hit a boundary off this ball. If he doesn't hit a boundary in this ball, it's going to put pressure on GCI.
And at this point, all eyes is on Prosper Hussaini.
Definitely.
He's on Prosper Hussaini.
5 balls left. 12 runs required. This is cricket at the best. Misses it again. 2 dot balls already. Now Vincent needs to hit a 6. Not a boundary. He needs to hit a 6. He needs to hit a 6. If he doesn't get a 6, it's technically saying that GCI has lost this game. He needs to take this gamble. He needs to hit a 6. And the only way he can hit a 6 if he goes straight over Prosper's head. Misses it again. At this point in time, it just seems like Ibeju are gonna win this game. 3 dot balls 12 runs required.
Prosper was saying he is doing a fantastic job at the center. The same ball, the same line, 3 times. It takes an experience and a well skilled bowler to do that. Against a big man like Vincent. Good job to Prosper was saying.
What he needs to do at this point for me is very simple. You need to attack Prosper. Hit it to the ropes. There is no.
Come out, do something. Exactly.
He edges it with the rest to the boundary. Yes, it's a 4. But that is not at this point in time. But it's still within the arc.
Yes.
It's still within the arc. A 4 there. Just look at that. He timed it over the wicketkeeper's head. And that has raced to the boundary. Now, this is it. 8 runs in 2 balls. Vincent needs to hit a boundary. 8 runs in 2 balls. This is the ball that takes the game anyway. Usain Prosper, Vincent Adewoye. This is the game. GCI Ibeju, Super 4. It's so much pressure. The pavilion is every fielder, every persons on the pavilion are up on their grounds. The cricket lab where the coach is also watching. He goes deep on the leg side, but they might just manage to smuggle one. Just a single taken. For me,
I don't think there's any hope.
there is one hope. There is one hope. A super over can possibly happen. A super over can possibly happen.
Like Usain Prosper, I can put my bet on Usain.
But do not forget, Sylvester Okpe has played a 6 when Nigeria needed him most, and now he has that major task here for Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club. Can he hit it? He misses it, and that is the winning ball. Just look at it. GCI have just lost this game in this old fashion, and you can see the young lads of Ibeju running onto the field. They know how important this victory is, and I must say it's a well-deserved fight from both sides. And I must say congrats to Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club. Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club 1 defeating Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club. The last over was the toughest of it all. For me, what do you think?
Say, Prosper Useni did a very fantastic job as the last bowler of it. I must commend Chuma also for the captaincy and the way he has positioned his bowler. They still have bowlers on ground. They still have everyone at Karim and likes of others like that. But his captaincy, and even when they were a little bit under pressure, he still kept his calm and said, "Okay, I have a plan, and we are still going to go on strictly with the plan." And you can see that him winning was not a waste of plan. And good job to the captain, good job to Prosper, because the position at which Prosper is, we looked at it as if it's a simple position, but it is a difficult position because all eyes on you. Any mistake, any win from GCI will be blamed on Prosper. That means for all the effort that has been made from ball 1 up to that moment, Prosper just made everything
Easy for this side.
easy for GCI.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, has brought us to the end of the game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has brought us to the end of the game. And let's just quickly see Fumi just run us through the match summary of the second innings.
And the match summary of the second innings, we have Vincent. Who was 1 over, considered 9 runs, 1 wicket. Ibeju Lekki Cricket Club won by 6
Run. And we said it right from the from the 6th over, that 6-run margin will play a determining factor in this game, and that it has done. For me, your last words before we end it for this game.
To Lekki cricket one, they fought and then they won. Nothing else. Sweet cricket, good game. It was really entertaining, and I'm sure the viewers at home too loved this game as much as we did here in CBS. Congratulations once again to the Lekki Cricket Club. See them tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. They will be playing at the finals tomorrow, and so also we will be seeing the second game of today. Federal Government College Old Students Association against Island Titans. To me, it's more of a repeat of the Club Cricket Committee CCC League decider. From us at the Coms Box is good afternoon and enjoy the rest of the day.